Another day in paradise. Hey boys. I just learned Jeffrey Hack's music channel has 7,000 subscribers. That is substantial. Where's this reaction channel? That's substantial. 7,000 subscribers won't get you far. It's very hard to get. I can't find his standard channel. Oh boy, here we go. Can't log in. I wish I had something more entertaining for you tonight. However, I'm doing spreadsheets. Ooh, for this event that we're planning, which will be something else, as it always is. I tell people it might be a good time, it might be a bad time, but it almost certainly will be a time. I'm thinking of having my friend Matt come over and film us trying to set up this bullshit. I think there's a lot of comedic potential in a bunch of goons trying to do this, but depending on how we edit it, which parts we put in there, this actually might be very useful. George Bureau, a very qualified sound engineer, on deck. Sorry, I just got distracted by this photo of me. Here, it's alright, you can take a look, don't be shy. There we go. Who's that handsome young man? Surely I don't know him. Alright, we're doing spreadsheets. Okay, so, no, we are actually looking for Jeffrey Hack's YouTube. Jeffrey Hack, wonderful man. Cannot recommend him enough for your sound needs, just in general. One of the better people I've met in the film and creative industry. Just a good guy, right? Let's see. His website's pretty nice. I don't know, actually, I don't know like the font choice. It's a mix of serif and sans serif, but it's baller. It's like a fucking flex. It's beautiful. Could be more beautiful, but it's solid. You can definitely tell this man knows his marketing. I remember meeting Jeff about a year ago or something like that, and he had a lot of subscribers, but he had this interest in marketing, which is always a fascinating topic. As you may or may not know, marketing is one of my favorite things, and I know as a leftist that's sort of contradictory towards my views there, but I see it as a creative challenge, and moreover, well, talked myself into a corner there. Let's put it like this. Let's get deep. You can't save the world, but there's a couple things you can do. Number one, save yourself. That means different things for different people. Number two, make an impact in your community. That's where it matters at the end of the day. Your neighbors, your friends, the schools around where you are, bars, streets, make an impact. Be nicer. Smile at strangers. Don't donate your money. Don't donate your money. That's such a racket. These volunteer organizations, they take advantage of young labor, make them work for free, tell them it's a good cause. Yeah. They get resume experience. It is good, but it's exploitative. And anyway, yeah, but they're not taxed the same way, and you can buy things that maybe you shouldn't buy to use for the company. And worst of all, these people just pay themselves whatever they want to be paid. So that's not even all charities. A lot of them, most of them are good, but that's what you're getting yourself into when you donate your money. I believe that your money is better spent on building your future. When you build up your future, you have the ability to have more impact, to be a louder voice, to reach more people. And so, if it ever seems like I'm chasing a capitalist ideology, it's a yes and no thing. I stand to gain from it, no doubt. But it is something that has given me such an ability to give back to my communities, which I know very well, and in a way that, resonates with me. Like, I am going to do what I think is right. And the ask that charities make for working class people to donate their money to fix the problems that are caused by the billionaire class, millionaire class, Congress, and Nancy Pelosi, what is it, net worth $10 million, $100 million, all in real estate. And what does that say about their priorities in a renting housing crisis? So, not only do I get that, I've lived it, I came out on the other side because I was lucky with my career, just sheer dumb luck. And I can't imagine what it must be like, and this is oversharing, but I tend to do this. My salary is $180,000 a year. My house, I bought it for $450,000. It's now worth about $600,000 to $700,000, depending on who you ask. It hasn't been a year. My mortgage is $2.1K about a month. I have some land that's about $700 a month. $2.8K I'm putting into the bank right now. The way amortization works is that's not just money you're getting back. Like, you're paying the bank predominantly for the first 15 years of your loan, which is something that you should be aware of if you don't understand how home loans work. You don't get dollar for dollar equity. It's front loaded. They want their money back first. Anyway, so it's about $3,000 close to of monthly expenses. But it's a home. And now I run this Airbnb out of my home. 3 bedrooms, Airbnb out all of them. And if they're all booked, I'll sleep on the couch, sleep on the dog bed, I don't care. Because I pull in about $5,000 in gross profit, or gross stays, or whatever you call it. And that's exceeds my expenses, exceeds my mortgage. Utilities I can expense across based off of how much I use them, which, boy, am I passionate about expensing. Wait till you hear me ramble about that. But the thing of that is, sitting pretty financially there. The land that I have, I don't expect to appreciate. It's quite nice, though. It's nestled in the foothills of Superstition Mountains, right by Lost Dutchman State Park on the Apache Trail, which Teddy Roosevelt said it was the best trail in the nation. And he should know, he was driving a Ford in the 1880s or something. Can you believe that? Is that when Teddy was around? For those of you who are illiterate, Teddy Roosevelt is a big, wily, cuddly teddy bear, and he's named after the teddy bear. That's where Teddy Roosevelt got his name. So anyway, Franklin Delano Roosevelt comes in, and he says, "Hey man, shit's kind of fucked for everybody who's already fucked." And they say, "Well, let's make a arrangement where everything's less fucked." Great in theory, and actually worked out pretty well in some cases. That's where your Social Security came from. Which, if you're not familiar with what Social Security is, that's a fund that all of the working class poor people pay into, and then every year Congress siphons or shrinks the payout, and it puts the fear of God into boomers, because they wave that around in their face whenever people love Social Security. They love socialism when it's for them. And we are, the youth are now paying into that fund. And the idea is when we are old, the young will pay into our fund. But the way we're seeing that play out, it's obvious that that's not a great thing to trust. So again, not all of these things are rackets. They just, not all of them are bad, not malicious in intent. But it's something to be wary of. That's why I prefer to invest my money myself, and I've done very well at that. I made like $60,000 off of GME. I put my life savings into GME in January or so, $25,000. I was beyond depressed, like nothing I had ever imagined in my life. I could not, just nothing. I have no way to describe it. No way to describe it. I thought I was depressed before, and then just that. It's still hard to talk about, really. It was just gone. No one home. So anyway, so what did I have to lose? And I held on tight. About a month later, I sold when it was about, I don't know, 150. It went up to 350 for a minute. That would have been nuts. And I sold them, and yeah, cha-ching, right? $86,000 in my bank account. And so I went house hunting, and I got this bad boy. And yeah, wow, my life is just a whirlwind. It's changing so much. So anyway, we have this house here. At this point, net value, gross assets are about 700,000, 730,000 in gross assets minus liabilities. Net worth comes to about $330,000. I mean, I paid $42,000 in taxes last year, which is like more than the average income in like most places in America. Now with the Airbnb income, I'm in like the top 94% of earners in the United States. That's like 99.9 in the world, by the way. And still working class. Still working class. Still the people who are paying taxes, while the people who don't work off investments, aren't. And the reason that I tell you this is I'm still fucking terrified of finding stability in this country. And so I don't know how anyone could do it if I don't feel like I can do it on $180,000 a year. What type of world have we created? Granted, yes, it's a natural world, but we can obviously make it better while we're here. So anyway, yeah, $30,000 a year? That's nothing. And where do you make that money? Like, do you have to stay in the city? Do you move out to the country? Like, where is there to live, where you can afford to live and to work there? Rent in Scottsdale is like 1.5K now. For reference, it's currently April 31st, the end of April. Reminds me of when I started Amazon. The date was April 1st. And certainly the joke is on me because I have been here for 3 miserable years. But Daddy Bezos gave me a house, so here's to you, buddy, and your big ass rocket dick. Anyway, well, just another one of old Uncle Rick's schizophrenic rants. But I hope you learned something.